All right. So, we're going to start with our mission statement as always. Our mission here is to create the greatest group of professional traders compiled in the world. We work tirelessly every day to improve our individual selves and push each other to get the most out of one another. With each individual's personal accountability, 100% effort, and consistent actions towards focusing on our controllables, we will each reach our full potential individually and as a family. I, Stefanos, pledge to be the best version of myself today, to do whatever it takes to be the greatest trader that I can be, and to be the most self-disciplined person that I know. I will do the things I have to do today, regardless of how I feel, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. I will control what I can control and not worry about anything else. Reminders: we do not overtrade. We do not over-risk. You don't need to. You don't need to catch a trade today either. If you don't see anything you don't like, you're not going to take it. 1 to 2 trade ideas per day. 3 if you see that perfect setup. Focus on keeping your capital over capital appreciation. Making money is very important, but you want to be able to keep your capital from previous trades, when you're in the losing trade. So you got to be able to manage that risk and keep that number one. Keep your trading plan in front of you. Make smart decisions. We are system oriented, not how much money can I make on this. I want you to think longevity, think efficiency, and think long term. Think like a professional. We aren't here just to make as much as we can this week. We're here to learn, and we're here to get better. And as long as that's your focus, you're going to become a much better trader. Have a sense of urgency today. And then also, finally, and most important, eliminate excuses and any victim mindset. Kick that cancer out. Full accountability for your actions. You are where you are today because of your decisions. And you are where you're going to be because of your decisions today. All right, so looking at the economic calendar today, we have Powell testifying. It's going to be a big move at 10 o'clock. Not a big move, but it's going to be a big focus for the day at 10 a.m. So maybe we have some volume this morning, maybe not. I know GJ's been really ranging the past couple of days and, before last week as well, or before last weekend. But again, the main focus is going to be Powell testifying. This isn't the only time he's testifying this week, so there's going to be a lot of emphasis on this. And then also, of course, we got NFP this week, right? So this is going to be a interesting week, second half of the week, but also starting on Tuesday. I think we could get some nice moves. I know gold is kind of being priced in right now with a more hawkish Powell today. So they're pricing stuff in, and you're getting a nice little move this morning, which I'm about to point out. We're going to start with gold today, just because I want to point this out to Lewis, because he just took that gold trade. But right now, looking at the monthly here on gold, February closed a very strong bearish candle with a more hawkish Fed, right? We had a very dovish Fed pushing us all the way up to 1950, and then we ended up rejecting 1960 up here and getting a very strong bearish candle. Now, anatomy of the candles and understanding the way they move, after a strong close like that with a bottom wick to fill, if you barely have a bottom wick on this candle right now, and you're coming up, created that top wick, and now you're starting to retrace, there is a good idea. There is a good percentage chance of this thing dropping, especially because we're completely changing the stance of where we think the Fed is going to be. After a move like this for 3 straight months, right? And then you get a complete correction and engulfing candle of that previous bullish candle. Now this candle could be creating a top wick and flipping bearish. You could possibly, and we could possibly, with more of a dovish Fed or more of a hawkish Fed, we could possibly correct this entire move. I'm not saying in this one candle, but eventually this whole move could possibly get corrected. So we'll see if that ends up happening, especially with a stronger dollar. But based on the lower time frames, we're just going to stay patient. We're going to see what it's giving us. Looking at the weekly now, another hint for you is the fact that, again, we got that strong bearish move coming all the way down. We did reject a previous resistance and support over here, right? Holding that support at that previous resistance, but we also got a very strong weekly candle over here where we could potentially continue back up. But this one hint against that is the fact that we got no top wick, right? This candle passed the high right away, flip bearish, and right now this weekly candle is currently at its low, right? So it keeps breaking its own low over here. We could very well continue right back down. Remember what I was saying about the fact that we did break this bearish trend over here, right? We did break that bearish trend, but this could also be just price coming back, pulling back even harder, and then continuing right back down, right? Just because this trend was broken does not mean we're going to completely retest that high. There is a good chance that we could be coming up into this area, previous resistance and support, rejecting it and continuing right back down. And now if we look at this area right here, you just got a very strong daily candle close over here, right? Very strong. Top wick form, passed below the previous candle, fairly clean move to the left over here, coming down on the daily. We could very well continue right back down and retest that low, right? I would keep in mind what we have right here. I'd make that like a thin zone just to keep in mind that that is there. But we could very well push right through that and continue down to 1810. Let's see. And also this level right here is 1830. As you guys know, gold likes to react to that area quite often. But looking at the 4 hour now, liking what I'm seeing here. Here you see you got that double bottom over here, broke the trend, and now we've been creating higher lows and higher highs. But now what we did was we kind of broke that bullish trend that we were just respecting over here. Now, again, same exact thing for the downside. We could be pulling back anywhere into these areas over here before continuing right back up, right? So it's not guaranteed that we're going to end up retesting this low over here. This could just be pulling back to create a higher low and then continue right back up. But a lot of it has to do with fundamentals and what Powell's going to be saying today. But right over here, to our most recent resistance over here, we're creating these lower highs over here. Clean move to the left, right? Clean candles to the left, could be coming down. We just got a strong 4 hour candle where this candle passed the high of the previous candle, right? Flip bearish and closed a very strong bearish candle. Barely a bottom wick, but you got a nice top wick on that candle, past the low, and now we're continuing down over here, kind of filling this wick and coming at least into this area right here, right? So now looking at Lewis's trade here, I was looking at this area. So it looks like that area so far in the 1 hour is our critical area that we need to close below. And what we just did was, and if you didn't catch anything yet, don't worry. We're going to get plenty of opportunity to take something. This candle, we got a nice strong candle close below that 1 hour support and resistance, right? Clean close below with a wick to fill. This candle passed the low of that candle right away. And as you can see, we're starting to retrace. So what I want to see is some kind of, especially after how overextended this move is, a lot of people get trapped down here. I want to see some kind of a pullback over here where price could pull back and then we could continue this thing right back down. I want to see some sort of a resistance, maybe like this or like this. I want to see that starting to develop right over there before Powell speaks. And maybe we get a nice move before Powell speaks. But now looking at the 30-minute, as you can see, all these rejections of that area, you get a clean move coming down over here. And as I was going over with Lenny, let's measure this range. See, you got 42 pips now. That's the kind of range I'm looking for. Clean move to the left and a nice size range. You're looking for around 35 pips at least on a gold range. So now what I'm looking for, again, no top wick on this candle. I'm looking for possibly a pullback over here to continue down. Now, this is one of those situations where I could see a possible sell from up here before closing below this area. I would definitely be lowering my risk. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that we came down, we got this impulsive move, get this little pullback, and then this strong bearish candle close right at that level. As soon as this candle respected the high of that candle, maybe you could potentially put a stop loss right up here to continue this down and grab that move. But the smarter move and the more patient move would be just waiting for the close below here, waiting for this retest, and then taking this down. Keep in mind, again, that candle has no bottom wick or no top wick, and that candle has no top wick. So just wait for, you may end up seeing a bigger wick on this candle than the body, and it may retrace right up to this area and kind of like hold some kind of a resistance in there, hopefully, or it could very well fake out. But as you can see, we trade mainly based off the 30-minute time frame. You're below all 3 EMAs here. We just closed below this 200 EMA. So that's another little hint for you. Not that you're going to marry it, but it's a little hint that you can use moving forward. But this could very well be, like I said, a retest over here, and you could very well not only get a move down to here, but a move down to here. And now, also, don't get me wrong, this trend line, I was just trying to point out give you guys a point here, but that was not the valid trend line. The valid trend line, we really kind of like broke it yesterday, where we were starting to exhaust around 1856, right? You kind of got like a double top over here, and then ever since then, you started getting lower highs here. But that's where it was really respecting. It was really respecting this trend line over here until it started to break. And now we're starting to enter that lower low, lower high type of channel here. So we're creating these lower highs here. Right, so we could very well pull back from that area every single time. Again, trend lines are not our main confluence, but every single time we tap into here, you get like that pullback phase and then the impulsive move. Pullback phase, right? Impulsive move. Pullback phase, impulsive move. Pullback phase, maybe, right? Impulsive move. Okay. Or we can just hold that resistance right there and continue through. Don't pay attention so much to this area right here, because we could very well break through that. But I would not want to take like an impulse entry with no top wicks over here right at that support of that channel. I'd rather wait to see a resistance form, and then I could see us breaking through that channel. All right, but we're gonna get rid of that for now. Again, like I said, we could very well be just pulling back a little bit more. Could just be pulling back a little bit more over here to then continue right back down. You guys have seen that many, many times. And if you haven't yet, just keep journaling these setups on the higher time frames too.
Do you consider where the previous 30-minute candle where he closed that made a new low, like that's breaking structure?
Breaking which structure? Like breaking support?
Yeah, so basically
This one?
like creating a lower low. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's
right.
a clean close below this area. The only thing against it is the fact that it has no top wick, but that seems to not matter right now. The one thing I don't like is the fact that this candle passed low of that one right away with no top wick.
But you do consider that a lower low breaking structure?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Okay. You got a nice clean close below the area, right? Strong close. It's not like a weak close where it's like right at that level and no bottom wick or anything like that. It's like, you clearly close below that support that we've rejected many times here. How many times did we reject over here? Then we bounced off that area really hard right there, and then all these wicks came right into that area and then shot up. And then we actually closed below that area. So that tells us that we should be continuing down.
Yeah. So basically what you're waiting is for a higher low with the top wick, and then
yeah. I'm waiting for a classic retest right here. Got a clean move to the left, but again, like I said, like this price action, you'll come to learn that it's not so much worth taking as a trader as you go throughout your career. You're going to start to see that like a lot of times this will pull back. This is where the intuition comes with your pairs, understanding like when it's time to sell, when it's time to buy, and not getting caught in some of the bullshit that it presents. If you catch my drift, I'd much rather just wait for that, because I've gotten burned on this before. That's why I could speak to you about that. Like I've sold this low before many times, and it's like now as you become a much better trader, you guys start to learn like, all right, it's just not worth taking that. I've seen this play out before, right? But majority of the time it doesn't. Majority of the time you get a pullback, And then, which is even better, you could get a tighter stop loss. If you're taking this sell right here, you're really going to want to put your stop loss because you know there's a chance that it could retest. So you want to put your stop loss up here. But then the risk to reward is all wacky.
Yeah.
You know, if your stop loss is up there, your main TP is right there, then all of a sudden you're below a 1-to-1, smaller than a 1-to-1. But now in this case, if we come up into this area, hold a resistance, right, and we get a nice bearish candle closing in our direction after a weak bullish candle, now your risk to reward is 2.5 to 1 with a clean move to the left and a big enough range.
Gotcha.
Feel me? So majority of trading is just waiting. It's not executing on trades all the time. If you're executing on trades all the time, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, or you're just eventually going to quit. You're probably not going to be able to stand that anymore. But majority of trading is just patience and waiting. It's fairly boring. That's why you do live sessions and trade with other people and stuff like that. It makes it more entertaining, and you guys could discuss different ideas, stuff like that. But when it comes to just actually trading in the market, 1 to 2 trade ideas per day, right? That's how you keep your edge in the market. But that's what we're going to be waiting for over here. Again, if you guys during London over here, right? Does anybody see a potential move right over here? Lenny, your trade.
What was the question?
So right over here, the London move. Like how would somebody have caught this? Does anyone know?
From last night?
From this morning.
I would
Last
have
night for
taken
us,
it
you're right.
after the 1 hour close.
After the 1 hour close, right here.
Bearish. Yeah,
Okay, that's interesting.
because I would have not taken it before that because the previous one was bullish candle. So before this one closed bearish, I would have not felt like taking sells.
Well done, man. So you're not taking a sell unless candles close in your direction.
Yeah, so that's what I journaled. I didn't take it, unfortunately.
Oh, can you send that journal?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So, what's it called? Lenny, your trade right over here was a little early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got in a little early, didn't have much volume during pre-London, right? But price pulls back, right? And it looks like we're holding this support over here. Price pulls back, and then all of a sudden we correct that entire move with just 2 candles right here, right? And then what happens? You get this candle closing below this support. Right? Now, after a move like this, I'm paying attention to, obviously, from here to that low is only around 20 to 27 pips, somewhere around there, right? But then after a move like this is where you're really starting to understand candles and the way your pair moves. After a move like this, arguably a fake out right there, right? You get a strong candle close right there, then another one right there with a wick to fill, and then that candle actually closes below that support. After a correction like that, I could see after this candle closed, stop loss right up here, stop loss right here, entry after that candle closed, right? And you're anticipating price continuing all the way down to this area, and you're securing majority of your trade right there. Make sense?
Yeah.
So have you been able to journal this trade just yet?
Yeah, I'm not joining right now, but I still wouldn't have taken it because of the 27 pips.
Okay. I understand that. And I actually like the fact that you're saying that because eventually you're gonna know when to take some of these smaller ranges that the range is really coming all the way down to here. You do have this low right over here, which you gotta keep in mind, right? But after a move like this, that tells me that price is gonna push through that area, especially with what do we have coming out fundamentally today?
News at 10 o'clock, yeah.
We got a hawkish Powell that they're pricing all of this in today. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like trading is all about like when to take what, especially when you're a price action trader. And you never have to change your strategy because everything is just reading candles.
And for me,
Understanding.
from what I've seen during London lately, is the best time where we get the most volume is London opens at 3 a.m. The second best time for me is 4 a.m. So that was the time of this trade, potentially.
Mhm.
And the third best time would be before pre-London, so 2 a.m.
Okay.
So I'd rather take a trade at 3 or 4 than 2.
Okay. That makes sense. I like that. Yeah, from me backtesting gold, GJ, anything during London, and then also us backtesting it on the simulator, I've definitely seen that as well. A lot of volume at 3 o'clock specifically. Get a
Yeah, but
nice
it's been
push.
switching a little because in the past we had I feel like we had a little more volume during pre-London, and now it's shifted a bit to a little bit later.
Yep. Yep. That's the issue when people kind of change. Oh, here we go. We got that 7:30 close over here. Again, no top wick on this candle, right? So that tells me at some point we should be pulling back and then continuing down. Not to mention Powell's going to be speaking later, so you're going to get a ton of volume then too. So if this leaves without you, don't get any FOMO. What's it called? But yeah, like I said, trading is all about like knowing when to take what, if that makes sense. And Lenny, like the more you start to journal this, like this one right over here, how you missed this and lost it, it kind of faked you out. Adding this to the journal as well, and how you would have caught this. Right there, safe enough stop loss up there. If you get any kind of close above this level, then you're closing your trade. But taking this down to here, and then you would still have that runner going for 60 pips. And then going back and journaling it, and then also studying that trade over and over and over again, you're going to start to see that. The gold's kind of leaving without us here. That's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is all you guys during London. Like I would have definitely taken this right here, especially after this, 100%. And like you don't even have to follow this trend line here. It's not even valid just yet. But we are creating these lower highs, as you can see. Yeah, three candles with no top wicks over here. Just pushing. All right, let's go over to GJ. Been a mess.
Look at US30 when you have a chance.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna break this down and we'll take a look at why is it moving?
Well, I mean, it looks like it wants to go, like it's setting up for like a nice short, but I
Okay.
don't know. Like that, I'm not really. That's not really my pair.
Let me let's see if it's a real that. Yeah, potentially. Potentially. Yeah, all right, we'll break down US30 first because GJ is really rangy. Good call. All right, so again, 33,000, 32,500. Obviously been holding a very significant support over here. He kind of faked out 33,000 where we closed below over here, and then we're coming right back above. And obviously we're just kind of ranging in here. But currently the monthly candle on March is very bullish, right? But we could be just coming up and creating another lower high over here, tapping into this area over here, and then continuing right back down. So looking at the weekly, last week we ended up getting a strong bullish candle close right at that support that we talked about. Last time we were in this area, we got that move. Now we're sitting right in this area. Are we going to get that move? Maybe, maybe not. I don't think so because of these wicks right here. Right? These wicks tell me that there's a lot of exhaustion and price barely wants to tap into that area to grab liquidity, and it just wants to continue down. So this could just be the retracement to continue down. The one thing that tells me that is no top wick, candle pass low the high right away, and this one could be flipping bearish at some point to continue down, especially if Powell comes out hawkish today. So this could just be the liquidity grab before Powell speaks, and then we just continue right back down. So right over here, we're sitting right at that level that we've been holding as a support, resistance, right? Support. These candles are getting a little bit more exhausted. Top wick, no top wick, weaker bullish candle. And now this candle looks like it may be holding a resistance. Yeah, there you go. Now, Lewis, where would you say so far on the 4-hour where safe sells will be?
Right below that, let's see, 33.50, I think he says.
350. Right there, right?
33. Yeah. Yeah, right there.
See to the left, multiple rejection to that area as well. Now, could we take a sell in here? Sure, but you're trading against the trend, right?
Yeah.
And this is kind of Lenny, we were talking about this during back testing yesterday. It's like you're playing the bounce off some of these levels. This could potentially be that with a safe stop loss up here. I wouldn't do that on this one specifically, but you see the rejection starting to happen here because we're still creating higher lows. We could just be coming down to create a higher low and then continue right back up. So you never know so far. Again, what I was saying was price could come anywhere into this area, hold a resistance, and then continue down based on the higher time frames. Now we're starting to see that resistance form right over there. I do like this bearish candle right there. I like this bearish candle close, top wick form, pass below the previous candle. Let's see, kind of coming into here a little bit. Price could this is the key level right here for you, right? You got to see what ends up happening if we even tap into that area, which I think we will. But like, do we hold support here to bounce up and tap into that area again to continue down? Do we close below it, right? And then maybe you can catch this trade right here. Got about 60 points in there. So you could probably take that move. You got to understand you haven't broken structure just yet. This is the type of move you kind of want to wait out for. But I could see us trading in here. Just make sure you get a strong close below, top wick forms, pass below the previous candle, or classic break and retest right there. But right over here, I don't think I'd be taking this because we could be holding a support anywhere in these areas and rejecting to continue right back up. And then that's one of those trades that you took today that you didn't really need to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see how like this candle in the 30-minute kind of closed with no bottom wick. This candle passed a low, and now it's retracing. It could be coming up to create a lower high and then continue back down. But safer sells are going to be below this whole region right here. Once you start to clear that whole area out, you're now breaking that first structure. And now we can take something right in here. Let other people get trapped in here. You don't want to be that person, you know? Lois?
Yep.
Awesome. All
That's
right.
pushing it. Yeah, be more patient.
I'm just looking at this right here. And if this would be a potential move to take some kind of a buy back up to 540, but it might be a little foolish. Let me see. Or maybe not. Again, what we see is that exhaustion with some of these candles over here. And this is a little overextended. At some point, this, even if it wants to continue bullish, it may want to come back down to here before continuing right back up. You know, and you're starting to see that with the no top wick, smaller candle, and this candle's kind of struggling to continue pushing up. All right. Not to mention, like, you know how we draw our zones? This whole area right here is a pretty strong area where price likes to reject. Right? Rejected up to the upside over here, rejected pretty hard over here. We were able to break through it, but we held a pretty strong resistance in this area multiple times. Then we held it as a support right here. Price shot up from that area, held the support. All right. We pushed through it multiple times over here in the past, right? And we could very well push through it over here as well. But we could also be tapping into this area just like we did over there and then continuing right back down. Really depends on the fundamentals, especially on the Dow. All right. So again, that just shows that, you know, breaking below 340 over here will probably be your best bet to take sells. Clean move.
Yeah, it's probably like the cleanest traffic right there.
Yeah, when price is like kind of sitting in a range like this, it's like, all right, we were able to reach this whole area that I just pointed out in the daily. We were able to reach that whole area. Now there's a high chance that price is just going to bounce around in here and either continue up or start to break that area, and then these are your trades. Too many people try to jump into this and they get trapped. Feel me?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so that's US 30. That's what we're waiting for. Waiting for at least that break below that area, but even this, I may stay out of. Got about 55 points in there. So let's look at GJ now. GJ is a mess. Just grabbing orders right now. Oh, there we go. Again, monthly candle closed a strong bullish candle, right? And now we're kind of struggling. We're trying to figure out where we want to go, either bullish or bearish. I was reading an article about the new head of the Bank of Japan and how he's just going to basically be following Kuroda and what his stance has been with loose monetary policy. So not much is going to be changing. But looking at the weekly now, put this down here if you'd like. Weekly as well is kind of starting to exhaust over here, right? We kind of mirrored this clean move to the left. Once we tapped into the area, we got a weak bullish candle close here. Now this candle has a tau wick. It's now it is bearish, right? But is it going to continue down over here? Is it going to pass the low of that candle, or are we just going to form, because we are bullish, is it just going to form a higher low over here, start to flip bullish, and then fill that wick and continue up? So looking at the daily, got the daily now. This is where it gets a little tricky, and as it's been the past couple weeks, or no, past couple days, I would say. I'd say maybe last week. But right now, so far, we are holding some kind of a support right in here, right? Price keeps bouncing off that area, getting some demand off that area, and could be creating another higher low, right? Could be creating another higher low to drive up and fill that wick. I could see that wick getting filled as well, right? You just got to make sure that you're seeing the price action that you want and getting the setups you want, and most likely maybe a close above this level right here to then continue right back up and fill that wick. So far, that's the daily. Looking at the 4 hour now, 4 hours a mess. 4 hour, you don't want to trade anything here. Now, the good thing about consolidations are that whenever you're consolidating like this, once you get that close above or below the range, you get a nice push, right? Price is sitting in that range. If we get a close below support right over here, price is going to break out, right? Above here, price closes above that resistance right there. There's a good chance with a clean move to the left, we create that bottom wick, flip bullish, and continue right back up. Price is really ranging in here. This is obviously a no trade range, but it's a good opportunity for us to look at to see, okay, how can we grab the move coming out of there? And all you're looking for is that close above. These are the ranges where it's like most, 98%, 99% of the time, you do not want to just, you know how I talk about maybe sometimes you could take a trade where you close kind of like that, right? These are the ranges where most likely you don't want to be waiting for that. You want to wait for the actual close above because of how many times we've rejected this area. So if you get a close above those wicks right there, we should be continuing up. And that's your breakout trade. All right. So looks like we have a little area before we reach that high right over here that we got to be aware about. You got that move to the left over there. Clean move to the left and clean move to the left. So both those ranges are definitely clean for you to trade it. Got that. And then below here, you do have this little area you got to be aware about. And then you got the fairly clean move to the left. Like if we break out of this area, we're not just going to tap into this area most likely and fake it out. I think if we break out of this consolidation here, we're going to be breaking out to the downside pretty hard and being able to mirror this whole thing. You just may want to, depending on the setup that you get right here, you may want to take some profit right there. See the 30-minute. Yeah, 30-minute, we're getting that bounce off that support over there. Yeah, these are the ranges you want to stay out of. There are times that you can catch these bounces, but this one, I would not touch it. Okay? So just wait for the breakout. And that's GJ. I want to point out because I took the gold trade, I was pretty much done after that, but I wanted to point out a US 30 trade that we could have grabbed yesterday. Let's see, where was it?
You already grab a gold trade?
Right. No. Yesterday, that gold trade that we took, you took it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So because of that trade, I didn't take this, but I was looking at the fact that we were holding this support over here. This was more risky. I actually journaled it. I'll add it to the group Trello here. But this was a trade that I journaled that I missed that I would have taken. Now this is more risky. This is more of a risky trade that I would have taken. And then I also journaled the safer trade that you could have taken as well. You actually maximize that. Okay, so this is what the daily looked like at the time. A little exhausted over here, but very bullish. This was the 4 hour after. Yeah, this is the 4 hour after. And then this was the 1 hour before, right? So what we did was we ended up breaking above that resistance right here. We created the high. We pulled back into this support over here, and we get a nice bounce with that bullish candle close right there. So zoomed out. This is the 30-minute zoomed out as well. But now looking at the 30-minute zoomed out, does anyone see like the bullish pressure tapping into that area with this candle right here?
Say, what was the question again?
Does anyone see like, we got it right here, the bullish pressure that we got right here with that move? Does anyone see it forming with these candles right here? No?
Well, like what do you mean the bullish pressure?
So with this candle, these candles, this is what I talk about with breaking down candles and wicks. Right over here, we ended up forming some kind of a support right there, right? This candle closed right at that level. This candle created support right at that level. This candle rejected it, and then this candle rejected it again, closed a strong bullish candle, right? Then we create this lower high here, right, with that wick, and then all of a sudden get a strong bearish candle finally closing below this support, right? Then all of a sudden at that same exact demand area that we've been able to bounce off in the past, we got a bullish candle close at that area. That's not enough for me yet, right? But what we did get was a strong close back into the range, right? Back above that previous resistance over there. And it told me that, okay, after bouncing off over here to the left in the past, now we could potentially grab this. Now, again, I'm fairly new. I wouldn't say I'm new to US 30, but like newer than GJ and Gold. So I'm not as confident in US 30 just yet. I'm still understanding the way it moves and all that stuff. So with this, I was eyeing this as far as like this candle creating that support right there with that bullish candle. What if you had, you know, the risk to reward would be off, but if you wanted to grab this continuation up through that resistance to continue up, would you be able to grab something where you enter right here, your stop loss could go below that candle?
Yeah.
And not only that, but you wait for the next candle to create its wick. And this is Quinn, this is what we were talking about, right? What the best thing to do is with waiting for candles to close, but then you can also wait for the bottom wick to form. That's typically the way I trade, right? So you wait for this candle to create a bottom wick. As soon as it passes the high of that candle, you could take this thing up. And you would at least have the 1-to-1 up to that high with your stop loss below the previous, right? Again, this is risky, and it's something I'm just like trying to get used to see if I could grab some of these. But right now, I'm not taking these. These aren't part of my plan yet. But this is how you could have grabbed that entire move. That would have been 100+ pips right there. Again, you're understanding how we're faking this little level out, a little support there, and buying at that previous demand zone. Price just shot up from there, right, with New York volume. But now the smarter entry, I was also looking at a potential re-entry right over here. After we created this high, we pull back, create a solid support with this bullish candle right there, right? Would you be able to grab this candle for a 1-to-1 with your stop loss below that candle? Would that be worth it? Again, these are experiments, not something that I'm putting my money on yet, but I'm just watching it play out. But right over here, yeah, this is what the 15-minute look like, 5-minute look like. See, this is the 5-minute entry. We got that pullback, and then price continued up after the close or after the 8 o'clock open. So it created that bottom wick, and that's that bottom wick on the 30-minute. And then it started passing the high, and then we're creating higher lows over here. So this would have been probably the safer entry right here, right? After a close liquidity grab like this, with a close like that, above resistance right over here, and a wick to fill with New York volume coming in, can I take this after this candle creates its bottom wick and starts to flip bullish? Safer entry, a safer stop loss would be below that candle. You could potentially put it below this candle as well. But again, US 30 likes to pull back a lot like gold. So maybe that wouldn't be too safe. But again, this is how you start to understand the way your pair moves and journaling these trades and writing about them and all that stuff. Just got to pay your dues. All right. That makes sense?
Yep.
Here, and I'll show you guys how I copy trades over. So I didn't copy this over yet, so I'm just going to put my name, Stefanos. This is going to be copied over to the group, SFX Trading Group Co-op Journal. It's going to go to the most recent dates, March 5th to the 10th. And that's going to go in for my Monday loss on gold, which was managed pretty well. And then US 30 over here. And then I have a couple of you guys, I think. Where's is Lim in here? Yeah, Lim's in here. Lim tagged me in a couple trades I'm gonna break down for you today, all right?
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Great job tagging me. Absolutely.
What time does Fed speak? Like 9:30, I think, or 10?
10 o'clock. He speaks at 10 o'clock today. So we'll go over that. What's it called? We will go over that during our backtesting session. Oh, by the way, we backtested yesterday, and we I thought it was Tuesday for some reason. It just automatically said the thing, and we had a full backtesting session yesterday.
Yeah, I was surprised to see like 2 hours after I was like there was a link sent.
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
I didn't get the memo.
yeah, my bad. Although not really, because we were able to get some more work in, so it's
That's
no, it makes up for last week. And then also,
it
you
was,
know, you guys,
it was recorded.
it's all recorded.
Great.
Everything's in here.
Cool.
I don't know why they're all like that. Typically they have the what's it called, but yeah, this was the session right there. So you guys can go back and rewatch those. These are you guys got so many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 26 sessions that you guys could go back and watch recently just from December. So that you could take notes on these. These are probably about an hour each. And you could just go in and learn. See how we just grab liquidity over here, tapping into this area. Not really a time to sell just yet. GJ bounce.
Have you gotten any trades today? Not yet.
No, yeah. I don't like trading before our live session. There definitely are opportunities that I could get and stuff like that, but I don't like being in trades when I'm breaking down things and stuff like that. And plus I'd rather just trade with you guys. Sad to see we're losing Jamie for a little bit.
Yeah.
Saw his message.
No, what happened?
Something's going on with his sister-in-law. She's got early set of dementia, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, I remember you were talking about that last year. Yeah.
It's not called dementia. I know what dementia is, but it's some kind of disease very much like it. And he's had a lot of stress with his wife and work, and he hasn't been able to trade, stuff like that. So my prayers go out to him. I'm sure you guys as well. But he's always welcome back in here. All right. What's up, Jack?
You all right?
My man, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome.
I've just been in an EJ trade, but I broke even in the end, but it's played out how I wanted it to.
Okay. Want to break down EJ for us?
Yeah.
We can. I forgot you trade that, so we can go over to EJ. Yeah, this is a day where, you may not get many moves until obviously we had that little move on gold, but we may not get anything until later in New York session. Oh wow, we got a lot of. Look at that. It's from probably back when I used to trade it. Okay. Whenever you're ready, buddy.
Right, just... Right, so could we go to the daily, please?
Okay.
Can we zoom right in, please? Sorry, Steph.
Good.
Right, so on the daily, we're obviously coming to this level here. Sorry about the rubbish line. I'll get a
Good.
better line.
You could use that rectangle tool on the
Okay,
draw.
I changed it. Yeah, I've got the one now.
There you go.
So we had, to be fair, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really look at the daily but now obviously I see that. But I was more on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, there was quite a bit of volume. So I was seeing a big 4 hour candle.
Okay.
And that I didn't actually have this area noted down. I think I had up here noted down. So then we go down to the 1 hour. This is when I started analyzing it more. So on the 1 hour, that was more my long-term target being up here.
Okay.
And then I obviously see support created here.
Okay.
Then there is more support here, just in case I was seeing a potential trade coming down. So I went down to the 30-minute, because obviously in the 1 hour we got some strong candles here, bullish candles. So then I went to the 30-minute. And initially, I see obviously we have the resistance up here as noted before.
Mhm.
Then we have the support here. Initially, I was looking at potentially taking a trade because I had another resistance here. Potentially taking a trade to come down. But I was sort of just seeing how it played out. So, 'cause obviously I was thinking, I actually had more. Sorry, Steph.
It's my bad.
So then rather than have where you put it there, I moved it up to here.
Okay.
So it looked more like that. So then I was thinking more because this green candle here, don't know if you can see my mouse. Don't think you can you?
I can't see your mouse now.
Okay, so I just put a little line next to it. This little green candle here,
Mm-hmm.
because that broke above this previous support and now resistance and closed. I went onto the 15-minute and I waited for. I see this nice candle here that
Mm-hmm.
wicked down, and I was thinking for the next candle, which is this one here. I wanted to come down, retest, then I was taking the buy of the high.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically took the buy. I was aware of this area here, which would have been a 1-to-1 basically.
Okay.
And as you see, it sort of got there. But what I done was because there was a load of stuff going on here, I decided to manage it. So when I got to like 8 pips, I moved to break even, and it actually did come down, and it took me out. But yeah,
What was your
potentially.
stop loss?
So my stop loss was there on the 15-minute.
Okay. So what I like with this trade here, if I was just looking at this myself, is the fact that we kind of like bounced off this area over here, and obviously like you could really draw it like that. Like this whole area seems to be a demand and supply zone, right? But what you ended up getting here was obviously a clean move to the left. If we go up to the higher time frames over here, you got that tap into this previous area again. And the 1 hour specifically, you got that liquidity grab right there, right? It didn't flip bullish, but it closed a very weak bearish candle. And then you get that bullish candle close, and then over here you got this price action. But if you look at the 30-minute and the 15-minute here, typically when you get a move like this, a nice impulsive move right there, you'll get this consolidation, and then you'll see the same size move. Oh, thank you. You'll see the same size move on the other side of that area. But what about this price action tells you that price is going to continue up? Like what would you think my hint would be?
So I did put a little support there because it was sort of testing the area
It was.
and nothing was happening. So once I see this big candle, I thought there's an opportunity there.
Yes. 100%. Like that's a strong volume candle right there at what time? 7 a.m. So that candle right there tells me, okay, there's a possibility where we can enter something right there, but I would put my stop loss below it right there so that we could grab this move right here. Now, a safer entry would be maybe even waiting for this candle to create its bottom wick and pass the high, right? So now we're respecting this area and continuing up. I'm looking for an impulsive move like this, or waiting for just this candle to close above even clearer. You could close, you could take that candle with your stop loss below it, but that's on the 15-minute. So I would still want to put it below that candle, right?
Okay.
And now, that could be your trade as well. And this goes for all you guys. But, this setup right here, I love this candle. Get the impulsive move, little consolidation, and then boom, a much different candle close than any of these, right? Very strong. This candle comes down, respects it. You can enter this is how you use dynamic risk. You can enter one after that candle closed. You can enter another one after this candle was creating its bottom wick, started to flip bullish. You can enter another one after it actually did flip bullish, and another one after this one closed. So that's 4 entries that you could have taken right there to split your risk up. It's not like you're taking 2%, 2%, 2%. You're not doing that. You're taking 0.5%, 0.5%, 0.5%. till eventually it becomes 2%. Excuse me. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, being really detailed, right? Like we were talking about your journal yesterday, being really detailed and just writing about some of this stuff, like writing a little journal about what ended up happening on this trade and where you could have entered a little bit earlier, how you could have had a better stop loss below this candle. This would have been a safe stop loss right there.
Yeah.
All right. But one thing I want you to do moving forward is, I know we're scalping on the 30-minute, but like try and pay attention to the higher time frames because they all line up. They can all help you. So like this goes for everyone. Like breaking down the monthly, you know, we obviously see that we've been creating higher lows since 2020 with weak monetary policy coming out of Japan, right? And now we finally were able to reach this area. This is a critical area right up here. This was, it was almost like GJ with the 156, right? We had that high that was created and come down during COVID, right? April, May, March. This was just the tank from COVID over here, right? And then ever since then, stronger monetary policy was able to, you know, pump us up over here. Excuse me. Actually, not so much stronger than the Japanese yen, if I would say, because they've had loose monetary policy throughout 2020. You know, but it was still stronger than the yen. Excuse me. But anyway, what we're seeing here is higher lows being formed on the monthly. Every time these monthlies get these impulsive moves, you get this liquidity grab and a strong bullish candle, and we exit the area to create a new high. Then we pull back, liquidity grab, strong bullish candle, create a new high. Liquidity grab, strong bullish candle, stronger, or a nice flip, another strong bullish candle, continue up to create a new high. With again a new head of the Bank of Japan coming in with the same exact monetary policy that Kuroda had. So now there's a good chance that over time this is eventually going to continue up, right? Excuse me. You see how just the monthly will help you a lot moving forward.
Yeah.
With the lower time frames. So that gives you a lot of bullish confidence, right?
Mhm.
But that's just the monthly. Let's look at the weekly now. The weekly over here seems to be holding support above this area. Came down to grab liquidity a few times in that area as well. Right? Now we have this higher low right in here. And price, and again, holding another higher low, right? Strong bullish candle. Consecutive bullish candles closing, respecting the previous lows. So yeah, higher lows, higher highs pushing up over here. And there's a good chance that we can retest that high up there. Right? Looking at the daily. Now the daily, we were able to break above this whole area right here. Right? With that price action, we pull back, hold support at that area, and continue up. Now we're sitting at a resistance here. Right? And once we break that resistance, what do we have, Jack?
Clean candles.
Oh, yeah. We got a clean move coming up into there. And this is just the daily, so we know that's a big enough range. So you bet 100 pips in there.
Yeah.
You know? And now, again, daily candle created a higher low, strong bullish candle. This one respected the low. It's struggling to break above that area because it doesn't have enough fundamentals and juice in the pair to push us above that yet. But we very well could. Yeah, we're gonna need a strong close above that resistance right there. Right? Once we can close above that resistance, you got that move to the left. Whenever. I'd actually kind of put that right there. And we're kind of holding that higher low right in that same exact area, grab liquidity, and that's what I was just talking about. But are you still in this or you closed the full thing?
No, I got stopped out at break even.
Okay. The only thing is, let's measure this range right here. Oh, okay, that's big enough for you to take the trade I was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got stopped out. So yeah, a stop loss below this price action right over here would have kept you pretty safe.
I was, to be fair, I was it's because I moved it to break even and 1 pip above because of sort of this area is currently in. I was thinking in my head it might reject it a little bit.
Okay.
So I just sort of played it safe.
I get it. You got that clean move to the left right here, but then you have, again, like I said, that liquidity grab, this price action, and you didn't even need the 15-minute. You could have just taken this base on the 30-minute here, right? And then that would have been a close above this level, right? Stop loss below it. You would have had plenty of chance to manage risk if price started coming all the way down into here or closing below 145.0500 or 050. Right? If price closed below that, you could have just managed risk. But you would have had the 1-to-1 for 17 pips right there.
Yeah.
So add this to your journal, detail it, write about it and all that stuff, and eventually you're gonna start to study it and you're gonna be able to catch these moves over and over and over again without getting stopped out. It's the only way you guys get better. Good job, buddy.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Of course. Yeah, see, gold kind of left without us. Like I said, I think maybe an entry after that close with your stop loss above here. Right? But we weren't on the live at the time. But again, for you guys during London, this would have been your whole move right here. So if you guys trade London, Quentin, Sharjeel, Serge, I think, any of you guys, journal this.
Yeah, I'm kind of salty. I closed my position earlier, brother. I had to enter a position right before this stream. It's like, but it's all right. I was waiting for a pullback too.
Yeah, I mean, again, sometimes it's just gonna leave without you, and you got to be okay with this. If you're not okay with this as a trader, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. You're gonna be losing a lot more than you're winning.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Especially because of the loss that I had yesterday. I was like, no, let me just close it with a little bit of profit and just wait for the better setup.
Well, now keep in mind each trade is individual of the previous, so don't get too scared because of that previous trade from yesterday.
Yeah.
But I do see what you're doing. Like, you see, we're gonna get that pullback. But if you have a stop loss above this area after this close, right, that could be your trade.
Yeah.
In fact, since we're not getting anything really right now, other than like this move that we missed, I'm gonna journal this with you guys. All right.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the daily here. And this trade basically is taken based off the daily. Kind of like what I was just talking about with Jack. Like, this is why you want to understand what the higher time frames are doing, and that helps you on the lower time frames. So no matter if you're trading on the 1 or 5 minute, which you really probably shouldn't be doing, if you're doing that, the monthly is still going to help you in a way. But yeah, this daily over here, this candle close right there, top wick form, past the low, like that. That's beautiful. Could very well continue down to retest this low over here. Now, if Powell gets a little bit more dovish, you're going to see a liquidity grab over here. Price continue right back up, where we pull back into here and then continue up. Short you on 3, excuse me, 7 a.m. Tuesday. Oh, standing right. You see, this was that move during London. Created that top wick, liquidity grab, pass below the previous candle, and continue right back down. So, like, this could be your hint where you have that little support that was formed with this bullish candle right there. We close below, we pull back with that bearish candle, right? Tap into that area and then flip bearish, close bearish. The fact that that candle passed the high of that candle, then all of a sudden flip bearish and pass the low of that candle with an anticipation that Powell's going to be dovish, that could be your execution there too during London. So that's how you use the 4 hour too. So these are after pictures. So daily after. 4 hour after. The 1 hour, we can use the rewind tool. You see how nice that looks on the 1 hour there? All these rejections here to the left. And then you get this candle close right below. You guys journaling this?
Yeah, I'm seeing how I could have grabbed
Good shit.
how I could have grabbed this trade.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Keep doing it, man. Every day. Like clockwork. So I would have put my stop loss above that recent resistance just in case price did want to pull back over here. Got that wick to fill. Would have been
Your
one
entry
tap.
would have been on based on the 30 minutes or on the 15.
30-minute, 1 hour. You don't need the 15. Right? And 1 hour ended up closing below. See, the 15-minute would have been difficult because this would have probably kept you out of the trade too. The fact that it passed the low and then flipped bullish over here. So I want to see what the 15-minute does next. Yeah, the 15-minute just pushed down. Okay. So let's see. Let's take a screenshot of the 30-minute.
But would you have waited for so basically your entry would have been when it passed the previous low, the 30-minute candle, but the previous candle didn't close underneath that support though.
Where at?
Right there where your entry is.
So my entry would have been after this candle closed below with the wick to fill.
So after the candle closed.
After the candle closed. Yep. That's why I put the
Okay,
P&L tool right here. Then
Okay.
that's one thing that like I kind of have like a pet peeve over with people when you guys take trades, sometimes you guys will take a trade and you'll put like the P&L tool right there. And it's like I really don't know where you entered exactly. Or you'll put it like right there or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys put it
Got it.
exactly like the start of it, it's exactly where it is. And it's not just for me. Forget me. I want you guys to do it for you so you guys know exactly where you guys entered moving forward. So when you guys go back and do your later analysis, you'll know exactly where you entered, why you entered, all that stuff. But if you want to do it for me, that much appreciated. So yeah, entry after that
So-
close. And then Quentin, either I'm sorry, Lewis, were you asking
No,
something?
I'm saying so entry after it closed and then what?
Entry after that close, stop loss above that area. But I wanted to point something out to Quentin because he was asking a good question the other day about entries after candle closes. Quentin, you there?
Yep.
So this would have been that perfect opportunity. Like this is a strong enough close with a wick to fill that I can enter right after that candle close. I don't have to wait for the top wick of the next one because I'm putting my stop loss safely above that area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you too.
Okay, good. Guys, keep asking good shit, Lewis. Keep asking questions. If you guys stay silent and you're afraid to ask questions or anything like that, like it's I used to ask Rakil like tons of questions. Just sending him charts on what platform were we on before? Slack. Yeah, I used to send tons of screenshots on Slack, just asking questions, almost like annoying him. But he liked it, and I like it when you guys ask questions because you guys are getting better that way, and I could see that you care.
So basically, you would have not waited for like you would have gotten in as soon as the candle closed because you had a safe stop loss.
Yeah, this would have been, we clearly closed below this whole area, right? With a strong, it's not like it's a weak bearish close. If that's a weak bearish close, maybe I'm waiting for the top wick. But that's a strong body, and that's a nice bottom wick that we're probably going to fill. Now, if I plan on putting my stop loss above that candle, that would be pretty stupid because then I would definitely be waiting for the top wick to form first.
Yeah.
But the fact that the stop loss is up here tells me, okay, if I just enter after that candle close, I can anticipate price continuing down, and I have room in case it wants to pull back. I can either manage risk, or if I could stomach it and I'm fine with it based on the price action, I could see this. I could sit through some of this drawdown over here and continue back. But if we close above this area, that would probably be my my cue to manage risk.
Gotcha.
Does that all make sense?
Mhm.
So yeah, journal that. I am as well. Entry after strong bearish close below 1843 will wick to fill, stop loss above previous resistance. Minute 7 a.m. entry. Price is pushing down over here. 23 pips would have secured at 1-to-1. So basically would have been that the low of this candle right here. And then also when I put these tools over here, like that horizontal line for where I secure, I put it exactly on the candle that I would have secured at. Closed 80% at 23. 1-to-1, stop loss at break even. And then just let the rest run. Maybe actually take a little piece off at 1838. 30-minute closed 80% at 23 pips. 1-to-1 stop loss at break even. 37. Pips. TP. Close another 50. Oh wait. No. There we go. So I would have closed another 50% at that, and that's me. That's the way I manage risk. But would have taken another little piece off at that support and then just let the rest run. Risk free. I'm gonna close another. Close another 50% at 37 pips. And now what I'll do is take shots of the 15-minute. So I understand the way that looks. I'll take the 5. See, 5-minute did a nice little retest right there. You guys see it?
No, I didn't.
15-minute. I'll show you. 5-minute. See its little retest created this low before 7:50 or 7 o'clock. We pull back, hold a resistance at 7 o'clock, and then price just shot down after that.
Yeah.
I wish we grabbed this. Yeah, I was looking at the daily this morning as well, and I'm like, damn, this thing is flipping bearish, passing over the previous. This thing could continue down. Oof, really pricing in Powell today. But yeah, you see this.
Yeah.
You see this daily? Look at that. Nice lower high formed right here. Top wick formed past low the previous candle. This is where you could potentially like, if you're comfortable with this, entering. Actually, you can't do that. Entry after that candle closed, like this candle, stop loss could go up here, or you could take it after that candle formed at the top wick, pass low the previous candle, potentially put your stop loss up there, your entries right there.
Yeah, I was contemplating entering on the 4-hour this morning. But it was like close to the 1-hour support.
Okay. The 1-hour support. Let's see. 4-hour.
Well, on the current 4-hour, once it passed the low.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would kind of wanted like a bigger wick, top wick, but technically it was good. It was just like the 1-hour support was just a little below.
Now I like the fact that you're looking at that. You get the clean move to the left, right? Now, eventually, as you start to get more and more experience, Quentin, this is those candles that you like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Passes the high, and then flips bearish, closes a strong bearish candle. But I think after we ended up closing below this support right over here and forming this low, coming down over here, and then coming back and then closing a bearish candle right there, rejecting that area for the first time, right? Holding a resistance. The fact that that candle creates a top wick and then flips bearish and passes the low of that candle with London volume, that's where you could potentially enter from up here as soon as it passes the low.
It passed the low and then went back up to create a bigger wick than it had created.
Okay. What I've seen though too is that works a lot too, because it shows you that it has the bearish volume. Not that you're going to enter right there, but wait for it to create that top wick, right? If it creates this top wick and then passes the low again and starts breaking its own low, most likely we're going to continue down with a clean move to the left and the fundamentals.
Well, you know, that would be like an instance where we would kind of be ignoring the lower time frames, and that's what we were discussing yesterday on the trades I took on the simulator, where I got I got like rejected by the 30-minute support. And so yeah, I mean, I guess
like right here.
Yeah, it comes with experience to know when those lower time frames are going to be minor enough to be broken by the higher time frame volume or not.
Just notice this is where time, like there's so many different confluences, right? But this is where understanding the time frames comes in handy. When was price consolidating in here?
I guess this was Asian.
This was late New York,
Yeah.
and then Asian in the middle of the night. And then when did price break out of that area? During
London.
London, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you get the big moves, the big volume moves during London here. So now, you're not taking this strictly based off the 4-hour. This is where you use multiple time frames here. So that candle created that top wick and then passed below the previous candle right there. The 1-hour, it would have been this candle right here, closing bullish, creating that liquidity grab, and then this candle created that top wick, and then flip bearish and close a strong bearish candle right there. Now, after a strong bearish candle close like that, with your stop loss above the 4-hour right up here, do you have enough area to manage risk?
Yeah.
Right? Like if we start holding this support over here and start to kind of range, maybe you could take 50 off, or if we come into here, you can obviously close majority of it.
Yeah.
But that's and then again, you're trading based off percentage. So, this 2% right here after this candle closed right over there, 54 pips, that's the same exact thing as like 10 pips on, with 2%.
Yeah, but so it would be worth it taking that trade if you think that price will continue down to at least like this level.
100%.
Because if your trade is just like I wanna grab this,
No,
then
that's
it's
not
not
what that
worth
would be
it.
for.
Yeah.
You'd be securing here for sure.
Yeah.
Always secure. I know it looks like, you wouldn't have to secure here and continue down, but you don't know what's going to happen next time. Right? So you always got to make sure you're securing at your secure points. Kind of like what I just went over with Jack during we put together his trading plan and everything. I'm telling you,
Yeah, for sure.
secure at secure points. Right? It's good to look for the 10 pips, 15 pips, on GJ or something like that, or 25 pips on gold. Always secure at that point. You should. But you should always be securing at certain levels like this, certain demand zones or supply zones.
And so looking at the higher time frames, what are the hints that you are seeing that when we were into that consolidation could tell us that this was a pretty high probability move?
Great question. It's the daily. So we've been bearish, right? With a more hawkish Fed, right? Has the Fed changed their stance since this price action?
Nope.
Exactly. This was just a liquidity grab. And we came in perfectly to a previous resistance and support, right? So we ended up getting that candle close. We had a low that was created, right? Fed didn't change their stance. Powell's coming out today. That's probably going to be echoing his hawkish stance again, right? Number one enemy is inflation. We need to combat it. And this isn't a valid trend line. It's just, you're starting to see it play out. Like we could very well pull back into that area and continue down. But the daily is probably the main way. Actually, you know what? Not only the daily, but the weekly, creating this strong bullish candle, but no top wick. This one passing the high right away and flipping bearish. The monthly, last month, we're still in the beginning of the month, right? So the beginning of the month, usually on a monthly candle, you're creating a top wick, especially after an engulfing strong bearish candle like that. So the monthly lines up with the weekly and lines up with the daily, the 4-hour, all of them are lining up right now for bears. See how this candle's about to flip? So now, if you didn't grab this move this morning, that's okay. Like, just journal it, make sure you're studying it, and make sure you could grab that next time. But you can also pay attention to this level right over here that I have marked off. What level is that as far as psychological levels are concerned? What level do we have marked off here that we usually always pay attention to? Anyone? Or no, we lost Quentin for a second. There he is.
My laptop turned off.
No, that's
All
all
of a
good.
sudden.
All good, man. I was gonna say, what level do we have right over here that's holding support that we've always marked off on the higher time frames?
Yeah, 1830.
1830. So we're approaching 1830 over here, right? And you guys still have, you know, based on the higher time frames, if we close below this area, where are we probably going to?
I'd say 1800s. Let's see if it works.
1808. Somewhere in that,
08.
and probably 1800, right? Banks probably want to bring price back down to 1800 after tapping the 1856. So dropping $50 over here on gold is probably reasonable. Now, again, as a trader, like, you don't always have to get in from the high up here when you're just like starting out and you're trying to figure out the higher time frames. A lot of you guys are scalpers. I would say 90% of you guys are scalpers. So, you know, with that being said, you're trying to figure out, like, how can I use my price action skills now to trade on the higher time frames too, and to grab the overall move. That's like the next level for you as a scalper. I always say it's kind of opposite. So if you start out as a scalper, your next level is trying to figure out how to catch the bigger moves on the higher time frames. You're not necessarily like jumping into the market and doing it all the time, but it's like, okay, I've seen this before in the higher time frames. How can I grab more pips and grab the overall move and be able to stomach that because you're not used to it? Now the same thing for a swing trader, right? How would they level up in trading and take their skills to the next level? It'd be trading on the lower time frames, right? So it's a little bit harder for them. They have more patience and they're able to stomach the bigger moves. But you know, their next level would be trying to figure out how to scalp on the lower time frames, and be able to grab a quicker move, if you will. So again, like, just journaling everything price action, like, it's all these time frames are the same. You know, there's nothing really different about them other than time. But yeah, what I'm looking for here is at some point, you know, you're going to get a pullback. Right? We were a little bit too patient waiting for this pullback, but with the price action that we had, right? When we started breaking down gold together, what did we have here? We had this candle with no top wick, right? Starting to pass the low of that candle pretty much right away. So, you know, a lot of times price does pull back like this to continue down. I think one key element to this, and the fact that it didn't really pull back, is the fact that we ended up crossing this 200 EMA, closing below it with that candle, and it ended up crossing the 10 EMA over here. So there's like a lot of volume in this move right here to continue down. All right. Lewis, you there?
Yeah.
See how those cells probably wouldn't have played out?
Yeah.
And you got the hang of it after I explained it. It's, you know, you're really waiting for structure to break. You're still creating higher lows.
Just like basically how gold would have been today. It broke structure pretty nicely. Then the nice push came in.
Yep, absolutely. Gold broke structure, right? It's been bullish in the past you know, a couple of days, but the Fed did not change their stance. Right? So this is just a liquidity grab to get in at a better price, to get sells in at a better price, and now price is continuing down. So now again, you don't want to sell the bottom just yet. You want to wait for some kind of a pullback here. Wait for a pullback. That could very well end up happening. Just like we got this impulsive move down, what happened? We pulled back and then continued down. Pulled back, then continue down. So never let your emotions take a hold of you and enter at a low or enter at a high, because you're really gonna hurt yourself, hurt your account, and hurt your confidence, which is the worst. All right, guys. Lewis, Quentin, great job, guys. Great questions. Lenny as well. You had some great questions. Jack, great job breaking down the chart. Serge, Sergio, Lim, do you guys have any questions?
Nope, not at the
No.
moment.
No questions.
Okay. Serge, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Tell us about your vacation.
Yeah, vacation was great. But, you know, you need to get some money to go on another one.
You need some money to go on another one?
Yeah.
That's what I can help you with trading. But we're
Yeah,
focused
you
on
know,
this.
it takes my time because you know after holiday you always kind of need to get into it again.
Exactly.
Bless you.
Do you feel rusty right now?
Not that rusty, but you know it's more slow than rusty.
You're saying the market is slower than you being rusty?
No, I'm just not rushing in the trades as I used to.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay. So you're more patient.
Yeah,
Good. Do you find yourself a little bit more patient now being in the group?
because you know last week you weren't here, so it kind of I was left on my own. So this week you come back, so I'm getting into it. You know, I need
Okay.
to actually adopt your style because I'm still trading my old way, but I do back testing the way you show me. You know, so.
Okay. Yeah. We put that together, right? In the simulator. How's that going for you?
Yeah, I've done 1 week, you know, and I make like 4%, but my problem is to cut loss, you know. It's what or not I not got used to cut losses, that's why I
Yeah.
just made 4%, then I come back like to 1.5, and then I make 4 again, you know. So I just need to take, you know, that cut losses short.
Okay. What I want you to do you have like a print screen feature on your computer?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Like a screenshot picture?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
All right. So when you're back testing and you're taking trades, I want you to journal some of these trades and send them over to me, and we'll go through them. You know, Quentin has been, you know, back testing and journaling the trades that he's back testing and just getting my expertise and my thought process on them. And you know,
Okay.
he's getting better. He's getting more confident in some of these setups. Or he's wondering, you know, he's learning what's a good setup, what's not a good setup, when to take a trade, when not to take a trade. If you, like I said, if you guys keep sending charts, keep asking questions like I used to do with Rakil, you guys will become successful a lot quicker than what you typically would if you're trying to do it on your own or not asking questions, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
So feel free to send those over, all you guys. Blast me with them, right? You know, don't feel like you're annoying me or anything like that. I want you to ask these because it's gonna get you guys better and it's gonna get the group better. You guys are gonna be a great. Obviously, you guys are professional traders, but you guys are really gonna be, you know, top of the line. You guys are gonna be the best in the world, and that's what we're looking for.
Because first, like, you know, I actually learned how to use SoftFX, you know. Now I try to learn how to use Trello.
No, okay.
So another maybe few weeks, you know, and I will be good at everything. Then we can go and make a good trade, you know.
Yeah, I mean, with Trello, it only takes maybe 30 minutes to really go through it and understand the way it works. You know, it won't take you too much time. It's
Yeah,
it's-
Kyung showed me yesterday, you know,
Oh.
how he actually use it, and I just put like one example yesterday on GJ, you know. So
Okay. Awesome. Do you have any questions on it or are you good?
no, I'm fine at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Sure, Gio, how you doing, buddy? Sure, Gio, you there? Maybe gotten up. All right. All right, guys. Like I said, with that being said, have a great day. That was a good session. Obviously, you guys learned a lot. We missed the gold trade, but that's all right. You're gonna get plenty of opportunity. Gold is pulling back right now. Powell hasn't even spoken yet, right? So I'm gonna be sending in a chart and letting you guys know if I'm taking anything around 10 o'clock. And yeah, let's I'll see you guys at 1 o'clock for back testing, and we'll go over some of the trades if we do take them.
All right, buddy.
All right, boys. Have a great day. Finish those daily musts. Stick to your standards, and I will see you guys then.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Absolutely. See you, boys.
Yeah, thank you, Steph.
Absolutely. My pleasure. See you guys.